It's North Sydney versus Brisbane in the minor semi-final.
Sears, Hall, Cleary, Caruana. It's unchanged. Hoppy, Florimo, Taylor, Hearn, Soden, Fenwick, Larson, Fairley and Moore. Now the Broncos. From the back, O'Neill, Hancock, Renouf, John, Saylor. Kevin Walters, Langer, G. Walters, Allen, Hone, Can and Madison. Steve Roach on the sidelines. Peter Sterling and Paul Vaughton in the box with Phil Gould. Bill Harrigan in the centre. Smile on his face. Exuding confidence as Brisbane starts. Right to left for the Broncos. And immediately Soden sends it back to the Rothmans medal winner David Fairley. Heavy tackle on Fairley, the first tackle of the game. And now it's with Sean Hoppy as Langer moves in with Mark Hone. Langer's tackling style again coming under the microscope during the week as Soden is pulled down by Langer. Gavin Allen coming in over the top as Taylor goes to dummy half, and Larson it is, playing against many of his State of Origin teammates across the 20-metre line. They go to the blind for Florimo. Florimo is tackled, and we're now at the end of the first set of six. The first set of six of the sudden death semi-final. The kick off the right foot of Taylor, bouncing down inside the 20-metre line, just beating Julian O'Neill. He brings it away from his 10-metre point and comes to the 20, and he's met by Florimo's chase in company with Fairley.
That's a great start from North Sydney. Greg Florimo must get involved in this football game. He's already made one strong charge. The kick chase was outstanding. When O'Neill picked the football up, he had a sea of red and black in front.
So now it's Mark Hone. Lazarus still on the bench for the Broncos. His pack of forwards, Wayne Bennett, happy to run with them. 32 metres away from their own line, the Broncos. Both these teams were involved in a torrid first 28 minutes last weekend. In fact, both matches were deadlocked at 0-0 after 28 minutes. And then the gates opened in favour of Canberra and in favour of Brisbane, as Taylor comes back to the 40-metre line to be tackled. And Soden goes into dummy half. They've done a fraction better. In fact, they've done much better as Larson finds Sears. Sears, he's got a big motor if he gets into the clear. Inside the 30, out for Hoppy. He angles back. 20 metres out from the Brisbane line. Soden now, they've got to go quick left. Taylor does that, long ball, out for Fenwick. On for Larson, the man who provided the break. Now it's out wide. Oh! He bounces over. It's Greg Florimo. It's a try, is it? Yes!
Yes, it is.
The Bears, they get the first.
Oh, and people said that they couldn't attack with the football. Gary Larson involved in two movements. Great work also from Fenwick. This set it up. A lovely short ball from Hearn. Larson not wrapped up high, and Matt Sears, the speed man, beat Julian O'Neill. Threw the cutout pass to Sean Hoppy, who ran out of space. Good cover from Wendell Saylor. Lost his footing there, and as Ray pointed out, they had to go left. Great work here from Mario Fenwick.
Yeah, wonderful play, and once again Larson involved. Greg Florimo, he's a player we said had to get involved, and momentum carries him over there. Nothing you can do about that. That's a great try to North Sydney.
But one of the most confident things I've seen from North Sydney was the fact from the scrum win on their own line, they threw the two passes across to Caruana under the post. That immediately got them to centre field, which is where you want to attack from. And 6 rucks later, Jason Taylor looking to convert the try from Florimo.
And it's not a bad-looking kick, but just grazing outside the uprights. So North Sydney take first blood. 8 minutes gone. Their former captain smiles. It's 4-0. The Bears over the Broncos. So another chance here for North Sydney, and they are only 10 metres out from the line as Hearn, a hit and spin, Soden away, Taylor is with it, taken to ground by Langer. And still 11 metres from the line, a golden opportunity away to Fenwick, and Fenwick on to Moore, and Moore on to Caruana, Caruana for Hall, and Hall is put down 10 metres out still. The Broncos under siege at the moment as Taylor gives a pass across for Larson. Larson goes down under the tackle of Madison. He plays the ball, still a couple left, and it goes away for Taylor and then for Fairley. Fairley inside for Florimo. A high tackle by Langer. That went sadly wrong. Then Sears. He gets a pass away, a miracle pass away for Billy Moore. Moore tried to get a pass out but couldn't. The last tackle is with us. Soden goes to the left. It's with Taylor. He shaped a kick and then passed on the bounce. It's with David Hall. Hall! He's in! He's over! Another try! Hall has scored! North's second try!
Well, they've started this game off in great fashion. David Hall had some work to do. Last tackle, you would expect him to kick Jason Taylor. Not much North Sydney defence there. The pass went behind Hall. He got a good bounce, and he's got great speed, this kid. Out of the clutching tackle of Michael Hancock to score in the corner.
Well, Brisbane are in shock. They don't know what's happening here. Mick Hancock had to stay back on his line to protect for the kick. And David Hall, too much speed, got around him. Great work, North Sydney.
Another tough conversion for the North's captain and halfback.
Nothing beyond him, though. One of the great strikers. Taylor from the sideline, but that he's pushed it out too wide. So 2 tries and no conversions. And we've only had 12 minutes. North Sydney leading Brisbane 8 points to 0.
And this is why running the football is a great play on the last tackle. Taylor threw the long pass. The bounce was a fortunate one.
5 tackles gone just beyond the 20-metre line for Langer now to kick again. He goes to the air and decides to test Matt Sears. He'll take it comfortably. No, he's put it down. And Brisbane get a hand to it, and they get a try. Well, Matt Sears, he had a mile of time, and he has put it down cold.
And disappointing for North Sydney fans. It's a very difficult take, this. Alan Langer, I think it's come off the inside of his boot. With Saylor chasing through, put some pressure on. Sears had a mile of time, but unfortunately just too hard to take for him. Didn't know where it went.
The worst thing for Matt Sears that when he dropped the football, he didn't know where the ball had bounced. Langer, he kicks back towards Saylor's winger. It had actually gone on the far side, so it wasn't a planned move. His winger that he would have been kicking for had actually gone to the open side of the paddock. There's no doubt Saylor got the hands down. A great chase from Saylor because he had to change direction to get there. That meant covering extra ground.
Well, the pictures told the story. I mean, it looked as though Matt Sears had a mile of time. He did have a mile of time, but he has just made a mistake. Julian O'Neill then. 19 outs and 7 in from touch. 61%. Nowhere near the ranking of the better kickers. And he's hooked this one, so there's no addition. North Sydney then leads Brisbane by 8 points to 4 and about 18 minutes of the first half to go. Well, they're back on their 40-metre line, Phil, as they take this attacking raid up to the 30-metre line almost, and David Fairley plays the ball. It comes away, a second man play, and tackled in possession. Trying to identify that player. It's out with Caruana now. I was about to call him Caruana.
It's Gavin Jones who hit the ball up as Jason Taylor looks to go around Florimo, does so.
Here's the long ball that you're about to point out for us, landing in the arms of Hall. Hall looks for his second. Pulled down 9 metres out.
Back to the left.
5 tackles indicated. Taylor will pass again. Larson puts the fend on, and North Sydney, they get their 3rd try. Well, the pass on the last is working for them.
It is indeed, and Jason Taylor going to the line. He's causing the kind of problems that Alan Langer is looking to do for Brisbane. Phil Gould pointed out, you can see not much defence on the left-hand side. It's staggered defence as well. Gary Larson, he got hit in a good tackle there, but he was able to bust through, straight through Chris John, straight through Kerrod Walters, and scored out wide.
None from 2. The kick, it's there. A beautiful kick by Taylor. 14 to 4, 29 gone.
Are we in thirds, Ray?
That's why he's a State of Origin coach, and this is why Jason Taylor is the key man, realising that running the football on the last tackle was the option there, as it was earlier. Gary Larson, who's playing much wider than we've normally seen him, he's done a great job to get that try.
And this is Lazarus crossing the 20-metre line, met by Larson and by Hearn. And now they're 12 out from the line.
And a crucial period of the game. 2 minutes to go. They've got a big line, Brisbane. Coming up to the half-time break. They're trailing by 10 and they're a chance here.
Johns it is, who's tackled just inside the 10-metre point. Into dummy half goes Renner. A few tackles, at least 2 left on this set as it comes across for Langer. Langer pushes it on for John Platt. He shovels the ball down for Walters. Kevin Walters gets a pass away. Oh, Wendell Saylor! Saylor! He goes in to score. Beautiful pass by Langer and a great angled run by Kevin Walters. And North, they couldn't wait till half-time. And Brisbane go in 14-8.
And they paid the penalty for handing the ball over to the opposition. Watch Kevin Walters get on the outside after some good work here from John Platt spinning. Now as he gets on the outside, as we freeze it there, 3 players have come in to make the tackle. Matt Sears comes in. There's Walters there. He keeps his arm free. Saylor comes back on the inside. But the fact that he drew 3 players meant that the try was going to be scored, and I was disappointed with the fact that they allowed Wendell Saylor to improve the position so much. Peter Louis will be very disappointed that they've made the kick for Julian O'Neill a little bit easier.
Julian O'Neill, as the half-time siren sounds, misses it. It's a game in which there's been 5 attempts at goal and only 1 success. What a magnificent second stanza this promises to be. Now Brisbane, they've already lost Alan Cam and I guess Terry Madison probably for the remainder of the day. Steve Roach on the sidelines.
Yeah, obviously Coach Peter Louis happy about the Bears. He said he wants to see them go through a few more sets of hands, put a bit of pressure on the defence. He said, look, we'd have been a lot further ahead if we didn't make the 5 or 6 handling errors. Be a little bit more cautious with your offloads. He said, we've got to keep attacking Hancock's wing. We've scored 3 tries down there. In the Brisbane room, look, Wayne Bennett just said he didn't think the commitment was there that was with his team last week in defence and attack. He thinks a few of them will have to get a little bit more involved and a little bit more effort. And he said the big thing is got to lock up their ball carrier. They're standing in tackles and offloading the football far too much.
You're of the opinion, Steve, that the plan very much was to attack down Hancock's wing?
Yeah, for sure. They scored that 3 tries down there in the first half, North Sydney. And you notice, too, every time Greg Florimo from a scrum wing runs around that blind side to Hancock's wing. So we'll see a lot more pressure put on there. OK,
thank you, Steve Roach, on the sidelines with that half-time report. And Lazarus it is that brings it back on the first tackle to start the new half. 14 points to 8, just a converted try, the difference. And Andrew G it is who's about to play the ball 30 metres out from his own line. They go across for Mark Hone, and Hone met by a very strong Greg Florimo tackle. And Fairley coming in over the top to secure it. Kerrod Walters goes away from dummy half. Kerrod coming back from that illness, as I pointed out earlier, viral meningitis. And I did ask the question, would he see the 80 minutes out? I guess he will. The way he's going quite strongly, but it would have taken plenty out of him. And this is Matt Sears now, working away from deep inside his own zone. And that's Peter Ryan over the top of Glenn Lazarus. And the plan, of course, is let your opponent up last, and very much so. That is the case if you've got Glenn Lazarus lying all over the top of you. Hoppy plays it, and they go across to Fennick. And Fennick has had a checkered afternoon. He's been one of the prime movers in what North Sydney has done, but he's also made 2 visits to the blood bin. It's not a very happy Mario. And he's got very heavy taping on that right cheek at the moment. The ball goes bouncing back down to Julian O'Neill. He's been kept busy. He goes across to Saylor, but then decides to run away from him and come back to the other wing. And Hone it is that eventually makes the tackle. 28 metres away from the Broncos line, the defending premiers. Looking down the most dangerous barrel of the gun that I can remember for them in the last 4 years here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Galia has gone on. Kerrod Walters has come off. This is Galia, right on the halfway line. So Johnny Plath would move up in the scrum. 5 tackles gone. Brisbane, normally you would say 14-8 down, they could still be very confident, but the way they're playing, it doesn't instill confidence into the fans as Renouf is beaten by Hoppy, who reaches the 20-metre line.
That is the thing, Ray. They are still only 6 points behind.
Matt Sears going one way, then changed his mind. Billy Moore is the man with the ball now, 30 out from his line. And Ivan Cleary with a short pass up. Played by David Fairley. It goes across now for Hearn, and Hearn a couple of metres on his own side of the halfway point. Soden waiting for a call. Here's it from Taylor. Taylor goes to the defence line. Ah, trouble! Rimmer! Here's Sears again with a miraculous tackle.
Could be a match saver. Matt Sears ran off in the clear and Sears cut him down.
Well, you all saw it the other day with Brett Mullins, and here he is again doing something similar. Maybe not as extravagant that time, but Langer is put down 28 metres out from the North Sydney line. And Johnny Plath goes in to take on the dummy half duties. He takes it up inside the 20-metre line. They're valuable metres. Mark Soden making the tackle. They come away for Lazarus to put his frame into the defence. And Lazarus, he's put down 5 metres out. They look for a quick play of the ball. It goes from O'Neill to Kevin Walters and then to Peter Ryan. Ryan gets it back and Kevin Walters, he gets the try. That'll be the equaliser after the conversion.
You can't keep defending against Brisbane. You give them opportunities. Eventually, they'll get the ball over the line. We go back to the Jason Taylor pass. Just tried to be a little bit too fancy. Renouf looked like he'd score. Sears came up with a try saver. Florimo couldn't come up with the tackle on Peter Ryan. And Kevin Walters supporting, bringing the ball around, trying to make it easier for Julian O'Neill, but they've been down that end of the field, the Bears, too long.
Kevin Walters, whenever he's had the football in his hands today, there's been trouble for North Sydney. And here he is again, setting up and then finishing this very nice Brisbane try to get them within a couple of points of North Sydney. North cannot get out of their own half in this second half today.
Julian O'Neill then. Practically right in front. None from 2. I guess in the pressure of a sudden death semi, even here, there is pressure for any goal kicker. O'Neill strikes it sweetly, and there it is. The scoreboard is level. 14 points all. Madison with the feet up. 59 minutes gone. Taylor is the man to watch for. Billy Moore on the second. 39 out from the Brisbane line. Craig Wilson. Now they're 30 out. That's
Jason
the
Taylor's
third.
ready now.
Taylor's I thought he was ready for it, but Fennick has tackled. Taylor, he's over to the left. They're pointing at him. Walters, I don't know whether he was directly behind. Taylor goes for the shot. Taylor, he's got it. Taylor, he's got it. North Sydney lead by a point.
Well, that's coolness under pressure. Brisbane knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. And he stepped back inside and got away a great kick there, straight between the posts.
Well, nothing phases Jason Taylor. He's potted field goals at Campbelltown, Bruce Stadium, anywhere you like. And here we are in a pressure situation, easy as you like in a semi-final, a sudden death semi-final.
It's not over yet, though. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. And North Sydney leading by a point as McDavid Fairling thunders outside the 30-metre line. As Caruana goes into dummy half. The Premiers, are they about to suffer their first defeat at headquarters in 4 years? Will they not be here to defend their premiership? It's looking increasingly so. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. As Caruana, who can play hooker and dummy half, gets involved close to the ruck.
Well, Taylor's got to try and get into the in-goal area or find touch to take up time.
He puts it high, and O'Neill comes up from the deep and puts it down.
It's
a
not
knock-on
gone.
against Brisbane. North Sydney will have the feed and the loose.
And the Bears fans are up in arms here. They've gone berserk. They love it. Mistake by the Broncos.
The face that tells it all. Well, Mario's trying to find some blood now.
Yeah, well, fortunately, he's got no looks to lose, Mario.
A very attractive man. There he is.
This wasn't a case of the referee going to the player. This was a case of the trainer calling to the referee and saying, listen, I got a player that deserves the blood, Ben. It's all been a case of just giving Norths a chance to get it set. Don't think that Mario's been anything other than the meat in the sandwich here. Florimo. Great game from Greg Florimo today. 10 metres out from the line. The Bears lead by a point. 4 minutes to go. Billy Moore. Taken by the Broncos. Winners of the Premiership in 92 and 93. They're down by a point, and Adrian Toole puts it down. So the Broncos will get one of their last chances, if not their last.
Well, Adrian Toole, he hasn't been out there long, and he had to catch that football. Very ordinary effort there. They'll be looking for something special in defence now. Glenn Lazarus, he knows the writing's on the wall, but he'll know that his side, out of any team in the competition, is capable of getting out of this.
O'Neill uses Renouf. Renouf, the danger player. 20 metres out from his line. The other player that could run the length of the field and score for them would be Saylor. Now they get it away for Langer. Langer on for Walters. Walters away for Hancock. Hancock gets outside the 30-metre line. 3 minutes to go. 15-14. Hancock. There was a mark. No, he's given the penalty. He's given the penalty to Brisbane. So they get another chance. Hancock just warned by Harrigan, leave me to referee. Been a very interesting last minute and a half. Hancock's got a bit of blood over the eye there. As they take the tap, they don't worry about finding the line. They go along the line. They're looking for Renouf. And it's with Chris Johns, his centre partner. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Centre of the park, halfway line. And this is Galia.
The inside men are the important people for North Sydney in defence here. As Mark Hone takes the ball up, would they be prepared to kick a field goal if they can't score in 5? They'll go for the try now. And there's Walters out of dummy half. Great tackle, Adrian Toole.
So Kerrod Walters plays the ball. Julian O'Neill smothered by David Fairley and Craig Wilson.
This is the last. It's 10 minutes either way. If it's a draw here, Kerrod Walters throws the ball back the other side. He's got time.
Kevin's kick is wide. No goal. No goal. 15-14 the Bears.
Well, Alfie Langer was the man who set himself for the kick, but there were 2 or 3 Brisbane players in his road. He couldn't get the ball. Kevin Walters under pressure, trying to get the equaliser. Florimo's off to the blood bin.
Sean Hoppy it is that'll play the ball just inside his 30-metre line. The Bears by a point with 1:22 to go. All they have to do is soak up the last. Oh, they've lost the ball. Norths have got, the Brisbane have got the ball back. And out they go for Langer. He puts the step on. He beats 2 of them. It's with Big Galia. Galia takes it to ground. 21 metres out. A minute to go in the game. Galia plays it. It comes away from Kevin Walters. Andrew G puts his head down and burrows into them. 50 seconds to go. It's away from Walters. Langer goes for the drop goal. It hardly rises off the ground. And therein is the exit of the Premiers.
Well, Alfie Langer, I thought he rushed the whole thing there on the 3rd tackle. They had plenty of time. Could have worked in a bit closer to the post. He went for the very hard angle. And now North Sydney, they advance. Unless they lose the ball. Something happens.
20 metres out from their own line. The ball being played by Hearn. And as you can see, just a matter of seconds. All they need to do is play it slowly, without mistake, and they go through to play in the final. And there it is. Mario Fenech leaves the benches. It is over for Brisbane. A magnificent reign at the top comes to an end. Greg Florimo, magnificent. 15-14 to the Bears. A drop goal breaking the deadlock. Tail of the man, Fenwick, he knows that.